2 people are dead and 2 others remain in critical condition following an early morning crash in Talifofo. Emergency crews responded to Route 4A near Rancho Camacho after a vehicle slammed into a utility pole. Police are now investigating what led to the deadly collision. When first responders arrived, they found 4 occupants inside the vehicle, 1 adult male and 3 adult females, all suffering serious injuries. 1 woman was pronounced dead at the scene after firefighters determined her injuries were incompatible with life. A second woman received emergency medical treatment, but despite life-saving efforts, she later died after resuscitation was terminated under GFD medical control. The remaining 2 victims, an adult male and a third adult female, were rushed to the U.S. Naval Hospital while CPR was in progress. Their conditions have not been released. Guam police officers remained on scene throughout the morning as investigators worked to determine what caused the vehicle to leave the roadway and crash into the utility pole. We spoke with Lieutenant Governor of Guam, Josh Schnorio, who is a resident of Talifofo, at one of the voting sites this morning, who had this to say.
They're from here in our village, so this is going to be a big hit for us all. I'd say that, we're not sure what the weather provides today. We have to be very safe out there and don't take things for granted. Watch your safety first, but also, knowing that we have a loss of life, young lives, it requires our community, of course, to circle around the family members and pray for the souls of these young people, but make sure that, we watch out for each other. Be safe out there. Pay attention.
Decision 2026 primary election coverage is brought to you in partnership with 76 Circle K, Beans and Barrels Guam, and Docomo Pacific.
Half a day, I'm Matsuki Hirayama. You're watching KUAM News Weekend Edition. Thanks for joining us on Primary Election Day and happy Super Saturday. Well, bright and early this morning, Team KUAM hit up some of the polling sites across the island. We start off with Nevaeh Anderson covering the southern part of Guam.
Election Day is more than just a race for office. It's a snapshot of what matters most to Guam's voters. Today, we're following the candidates seeking support and the voters making the decisions that will shape the road to November. Down south in Talifofo, candidates spent part of the morning greeting supporters before casting their own ballots, closing out months of campaigning with one final trip to the polls. They each echoed a similar message of gratitude while encouraging eligible voters to participate in the primary election.
If the people of Guam want change and they want improvements, then they got to come out to the polls and cast those votes. And apathy, maybe young people feel like their vote's not going to make a difference, but so many of the issues and the challenges that our island is facing affect and impact negatively the young people. That's why they got to come out and let their voice be heard.
We have good people that are stepping up for the people of Guam, and I think we should be grateful that we're able to elect leaders. It wasn't too far in our history where our freedom was taken away, and there's been a lot of hardships that our people have managed to overcome, but I'm so confident in our people. We have turned this island around.
Meanwhile, at Inalahan Middle School, voters told KUAM they came to the polls with more than just a candidate in mind. They said the issues, values, and the future they want for Guam ultimately guided the choices they made inside the voting booth.
One of them obviously is the high cost, of living on Guam, and obviously the housing, which has really been priced out because of a number of factors. Probably most prominent the military with the housing allowance that they get. So that's my focal point. It's just looking at the needs, of the people.
I think, and I make my vote count, is all this bumpy road. It's just a repeat and repeat over and over again. But let me tell you, I don't care who will be the next governor. It's still going to be a problem on those bumpy roads. And especially education, the school, they're still having problems. They're short of staff.
With the polls remaining open until 8 o'clock tonight, voters still have the chance to cast their ballots before the first batch of results are released. Stay with KUAM throughout the day and into election night for the latest updates, turnout, and results from across Guam. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Thank you, Nevaeh. Half a day, everybody. I'm Don Sulet, and we're kicking off our central coverage right here in the village of Agana, specifically Agana Heights, as we continue to provide you guys updates throughout the day regarding Super Saturday with this primary election. In Central Guam, municipal leaders, supporters, and residents from our island's middle villages made their way to voting precincts to participate in democracy. Over at PC Lujan Elementary School, the first Guamanian to cast his ballot was who else but the Vice Mayor Jesse Bautista, who embodies the spirit of Barrigada.
Barrigada is a beautiful place, wonderful people. We are committed to taking care of our community and sharing our love out to our constituents and our guests.
Also in the village of Barrigada, and no stranger to local elections, Congressman Jim Moylan stopped by, checking in on supporters and meeting the electorate face to face.
To see when people are engaged, and that's the important part, letting them know, reminding them, that's the word we want to get out. We're really hoping for a great turnout.
And further down the road in adjacent Manila, GW High's precinct volunteers were hard at work helping volunteers cast their ballots, especially with residents needing accessibility options. The big school had a big crowd early after polls opened at 7 a.m. Now looking to the gubernatorial race and casting her ballot just before 8 a.m., Democratic Lieutenant Governor candidate and Central Guam resident Sabina Perez also had a choice to make. Which of the I voted stickers designed by local children she liked best?
Which was your favorite?
Of course, yeah, it's the Cocoa Bird sticker.
Okay, so that's the one that the high school kids did.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I love the emphasis on the our endangered species. So yeah, we need to protect them and keep them in mind as well.
There you go, from a scientist.
Yes, absolutely, and a teacher.
Meanwhile, in the village of Sinohania, casting their vote is gubernatorial candidate Vice Speaker Tony Yada. We caught up with him and his running mate E.J. Calvo to see their game plan for this Super Saturday.
So far, it's great because we got the sun shining. There's no rain. And we're just going to go around to all the polling precincts, make our way back to HQ for tonight's closing and counting.
Yeah, I'm going to be voting in the village of Chalampago, but I grew up here in Sinohania, so this is a great place to start the day.
We also made our way to the village of Asan Maina, where we spoke to the other Republican gubernatorial ticket of Speaker Frank Blas Jr. and Dr. Mary Okada to see how they're doing as the day continues.
We have a long day to go, and we're making our rounds to each of the precincts. Thanking the many supporters from all parties, from all camps, for their passion and for all the work they're doing for all the candidates, and to wish the candidates out there the best of luck.
That's great to hear, Speaker. Doc?
Today is a very important day for everyone to come out and vote and let your voice be heard. It's a beautiful day today. We know that there's some heavy rain up north, but it's all God's blessings for all of us.
As for the village of Chalampago Ordot, we caught up with the Inalahan Mayor and first-term chair of the Democratic Party of Guam, Anthony Chargaloff.
Obviously, there's a lot of learning that I'm having to adjust to. Just like even me going around now and visiting all the sites, it'll be new for me. I literally have to code the various precincts to find out exactly where they're at. Like this one in particular, I thought it was over at the mayor's office. I had to be reinformed that it was here at the school. So yeah, it's a learning, but honestly, I love what I'm doing. I get an opportunity to meet a lot of different people, hear different ideas, and also continue to share the Democrat ideals. Hearing that from various perspectives is really enlightening to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it from folks vying for your vote for office. The day will continue. We will continue giving you coverage for Super Saturday. But for now, I'm Don Sulat reporting for KUAM News, and I'm going to throw it over to the north with our Matsuki Hirayama.
As Election Day moves across Guam, our team coverage now brings us to the island's largest voting region. Tumaning, Dededo, and Jigo are home to nearly half of Guam's registered voters. For candidates, this has been a critical campaign stop, and for voters, today is their chance to say what matters most. Jigo resident Teresa Cruz de Plata made her way to the polls as soon as opened at Dominican Catholic School. She's one of the first voters to cast her ballot here, using her voice to speak up on the fight for a new public hospital.
I'm just hoping for a good gubernatorial race. I don't really choose which side I'm on. I'm really for a new hospital, though. Yeah, that's what I care about. As a person with multiple disabilities, yes, I want a new hospital. I don't care whatever's going on in social media. I have my own. I'm going to stand firm in what I believe in. But I feel good. I'm hoping for a good outcome.
It's another ongoing battle over at John F. Kennedy High School. For Tumaning resident Catherine McCollum, coming out to the polls this election is about continuing to fight for the return of her family's land in Retinian.
We need to speak out by voting.
And what issues brought you to the polls today?
I've always been with the land issues. Yeah, and I hope we'll get our lands back.
She's part of the Chamorro families whose lands were taken by the federal government for military use through eminent domain powers decades ago.
It's kind of quiet, but we have been active throughout the years. Been going on close to 40 years.
Her message to candidates:
I hope they don't forget about the land return, and it's at least it's the foremost on my mind and our families' minds. There's a lot of issues going on with asking the military, and I don't think we should ask the military. I think we should demand our lands back.
Meanwhile, candidates making their final pitch to voters along the campaign trail outside of polling sites. At Okudu High School in Dededo, we caught up with incumbent James Moylan, who is going head-to-head against challenger Mary Camacho Torres in the congressional race under the Republican ticket.
Each camp is motivated and excited, so the camps are putting in the energy. We just need the voters to do the same and come on out and enjoy and have a good time.
Guam's record low voter turnout last election in 2024 is still fresh on the community's minds, with just 48.3% of registered voters using their voice. We caught up with Governor Lou Leon Guerrero at JFK after she casted her ballot. She shares her message on exercising a critical pillar of democracy.
And one of the very important, I think very sacred things about democracy is our ability to express our voice, express our opinions. And one of the ways you can do this is through your very powerful voice in voting. So I encourage everybody, especially the youth, to please come on and be involved, be knowledgeable, because really you all have to make this place a place that continues to be stable, peaceful, safe, and a better life for our people. You are the ones that will make that happen.
And as this voter puts it,
if you're not a part of the solution, then you cannot complain about what goes on this island.
This morning has been all about getting voters to the polls, but by later tonight, we'll see how the voices of thousands across the island made their decision for who will advance to the November general election. And now here's a look of what Super Saturday action there was for Team KUAM today. Stick around, we have more coming up on Weekend Edition. Coming up, our Jason Solis chats with South Pacific Petroleum Corporation Chief Executive Officer William Bill Atta. You're watching KUAM.
Let's do this. Pack the backpack. Fill the lunchbox. Cover the basics. Start new adventures. Whatever's on the schedule, Kmart has everything you need, all in one stop. Kmart, let's make a great school year.
Our island is important to all of us, and you deserve leaders who will fight to improve it. I fought for Guam's future. Tax refunds are paid faster than ever. I fixed roads so your families can commute safely. We've seized more meth than the previous 2 administrations combined and helped more people recover from addictions. I built gyms and playgrounds in our villages so our children have a place to grow and thrive, and I have much more to do.
I focused on growing opportunities for us all. My laws built hundreds of affordable homes and granted millions to first-time homeowners. I've worked to bring new industries to Guam, creating jobs, evolving our island and workforce, and I'm not done yet.
We're ready to build Guam's future together, and we need your help.
On August 1st, please vote Tenorio
Munya Barnes, number 2 Democrat. Let's go Guam! I'm Josh Tenorio.
And I'm Tina, and we approve this message.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
Half a day, everybody. I am here at the Airport Circle K76 newly reopened feature with Bill Atta, the newly inducted Chief Executive Officer of South Pacific Petroleum Company. Bill, as we always say, man, the right man for the right job. So congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that.
Okay, it's a big role with a lot of responsibilities, but you know, one that you have worked a lot of years throughout your career to do and everything like that. So what is the scope right now, and what do you see as like your mission statement here at SPPC?
Well, I mean, I would say that there's a lot of opportunity to grow and expand, and so innovation and expansion is really part of that vision, and reinvesting in Guam. Through that, we're actually creating jobs, we're supporting local businesses and contractors, and so, I think we're an important part of the economy, and we're doing our part, and we believe in Guam's future.
Now, this is such a complicated business to be in because you've got the technology behind petroleum, you've got the retail operations like right here, you've got stations all over the island and everything. How do you actually as the center point for all this, and as the chief executive, kind of bring everybody together, get everybody on the same page, and say, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to execute the plan?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It's great that you talk about people because that's absolutely at the center of everything. And at SPPC, we have a great team of executives that are all locally homegrown, and they have a lot of great ideas. They have a lot of great experience in the industry. And so I'm just lucky to be a part of that and bring everyone together and share my thoughts on, what I think a great future and direction would be for the company, and then execute together as a team.
Okay, and also interesting, Bill, the first Guamanian CEO that SPPC has had. What does that mean for you as a trailblazer, as someone who people are going to look up to? Business students right now or UOG are going to say, I know Uncle Bill, I've seen him around, that's my godfather, that's my, I see him around the village and everything like that, he's been able to make it, and they're going to take inspiration from you.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's a humbling, experience. I'm very proud also to be a part of that, and I would say that, there's a lot of talent that we have here. We just got to be given, they've got to be given the opportunity to step up and play, a critical role in those companies. I'm happy that SPPC has a management team that is predominantly local, homegrown. I mean, we have leaders that are graduates of Sanchez, JFK, GW, ND Academy, Harvest.
Thank you for saying Sanchez first. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm the lone FD guy, so yeah. I mean, I think everything's possible. I think we have great work ethic, as locals here, and it's just coming together and getting the chance, getting the opportunity, and a lot of people will be successful.
Okay, now speaking of the high schools to which we belong, I've known Bill since high school. When I was at Sanchez, he was at FD. You may remember Wild Bill Atta, tearing it up in high school football. That is the thing, he has his number retired by FD. That speaks to work ethic, that speaks to preparation, discipline. How do you actually translate that from the football field into the boardroom or into the corporate world about, just saying, we're going to be lean, we're going to execute our plan again, and we're going to prepare?
Oh, it's super helpful, to have sports as a background and foundation. I always tell my kids, I said, you got to choose a sport, doesn't matter what sport. They didn't choose my sport, which is okay, they chose basketball. But when you're involved in these sports, these teams, you learn that there's roles, there's different responsibilities, there's commitment, there's work ethic, and you have to work together as a team if you want to succeed. And so you bring that into the workforce, and the same thing applies. You have to figure out what your role is, and do the best you can to support your team, and understand what the goals are. And on the football field, on the basketball court, there's a scoreboard and there's statistics, what your shot percentage is and things like that. In the business world, you also have statistics. You also have scoreboards. And
I can't imagine the amount of metrics you have to look at every day for such a widely distributed network of companies.
Yeah, but it's so super exciting, and everything just translates. And so it's very helpful to have that background in sports, especially if you want to win and if you're committed to win, which I've been lucky to be a part of. These winning programs in the past, and then you just apply it. It's just a different scoreboard, it's a different playing field, but the same core foundations apply. And that's work ethic, and that's working together as a team, supporting each other, understanding what your role is, whether you're going to be a follower or a leader.
Absolutely.
And making those adjustments as you go forward.
Okay, now also interesting is there are a lot of challenges ahead for you as a CEO and for your leadership team here, because the petroleum industry, a lot of evolution, a lot of innovation, a lot of things, EVs are coming up right now, like electric vehicles, geopolitically, the world's in a really interesting place right now. How do you guys actually approach the new challenges and stay relevant, stay competitive, and stay innovative?
Yeah, I mean, we got to recognize that there's some things that you just can't control, but you just got to stay close to the consumer. You got to understand what their needs are, what their wants are, and fill that. And that's what we do as a company. Of course, as a CEO, we got to think about the long term and plan for it and manage towards that. But right now, there's not going to be any real change in terms of what the needs are. People need food, people need drinks, people need to fuel their cars and things like that. And especially in Guam, we just gone through 2 super typhoons, and we realize that just exactly the role that you play as a fuel company, because people need you to recover. They need fuel to energize their chainsaws to clear debris from their yard. They need fuel, whether it be diesel or gasoline, to fill their generators so that we can keep it going until restoration is done. And so it's a critical role. And so we understand that. We take great responsibility with that. And so our team is always focused on that, because yes, we're a petroleum company, but we're also local. We have family members and friends that are impacted by it. And so we understand what we need to do to support everyone's recovery and that. So.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, like I said, right man for the right job, and SPPC is in really, really good hands, a steward not only of this wonderful company and what it does for the community, but of the community itself. So, Bill, congratulations to you once again, man.
Appreciate that,
really proud of you, man.
Thank you so much.
Can we go get some shrimp now? Because they got really good spicy shrimp out there.
Outside, I mean, there's a whole bunch of things you can select that are awesome products. Like the brisket sandwich is really good.
Okay,
Bucky's style.
He's also a great salesman, everybody. All right, we're gonna go do that.
All right, thanks, Jay.
Hanak gofbani dosuju natsumoruju ginen guahan. Igineftau itau tauta, muna et mas unikuna isla, zanguaizadu na lugar gihilutono.
Ben govmeskun itau tauta, zat put I costumbri inazuda zaninakudi, mas men metkut hit karaguaha asaki.
Esti ikinimentin mami, guahuzan sitina, na bayan protehi I kulturata, in that